Dear guests, dear participants, and dear students, this session is titled Beyond Borders, Maritime Education and Career Advancements on Global Scale, and we will take place today. The event is organized by the INOC, which is named Inter-Islamic Network on Oceanography. Our meeting will be recorded. I, Dr. Müge Biber, Research Assistant at Dokuz Üniversitesi Maritime Faculty, will be moderating this session, and we are pleased to have Assistant Professor Dr. Serdar Yıldız from Sharjah Maritime Academy as our distinguished speaker. I will start a brief overview of the flow of our session. First of all, opening remarks. This will take approximately 5 minutes. Second of all, introduction of the speakers. Following that, I will introduce Dr. Serdar Yıldız. It takes 2 minutes, highlighting his background, current role, and also PhD research in maritime safety and his extensive experience in maritime risk assessment. This session takes 3 minutes, allowing for an interactive discussion, and then the entire webinar is expected to last approximately 40 minutes in total. After these opening remarks, we will delve into main discussion and then open the floor for question and answer session. There will be opportunity for this session throughout this time. In addition to raising your hand to ask questions, and you are welcome to share your thoughts and questions in the chat. Now, let's begin the start. I will start with a brief introduction about INOC and its objective, including how it fosters cooperation in marine science and oceanography. INOC, which is named and stands for the Inter-Islamic Network on Oceanography, aims to foster collaboration among Islamic countries in the field of marine science and oceanography. Its primary goal is to promote the exchange of scientific data, enhance marine research, and supportive sustainable management of ocean resources. INOC's vision is to unite all Islamic countries in a collective effort to improve oceanographic research and also marine science initiative. By doing so, INOC seeks to strengthen the scientific and technological development of its member states in the exploration of marine resources. So you can find necessary details on the INOC website. Please visit INOC's official website for more information. Second of all, I would like to thank our valuable webinar to INOC for providing this opportunity. Now I will proceed with the introduction of Dr. Serdar Yıldız. Dr. Serdar Yıldız is an assistant professor at Sharjah Maritime Academy, where he contributes to research and teaching in the Maritime Transport Department. He has an impressive background, and including his previous role as research associate at the World Maritime University. Of course, you know, a specialized agency under the International Maritime Organization. His expertise spans maritime safety risk assessment, human factor, and also particularly in narrow waterways. Dr. Yıldız earned his PhD status in Maritime Transportation and Management Engineering from Karadeniz Technical University with high honors. His PhD thesis focused on risk evaluation and safety optimization in narrow straits, especially Istanbul Strait and English Channel. He has also served as an ocean watchkeeping officer on international waterways, providing him with both academic and practical maritime experience. His research has been published in international journals, and he has presented at global conference on maritime safety and human factors. Today, Dr. Yıldız will share his insights on maritime education and career development and also career pathway, especially on global scale. Now, throughout the session, we can foster engaging conversation by incorporating question and answer segments. This will help create a more dynamic atmosphere. You can proceed then 30 minutes later. I give the floor Assistant Professor Dr. Serdar Yıldız to share his career pathway with us. The floor is yours, Dr. Serdar Yıldız. You can share the necessary information and details directly via Zoom screen. And this will ensure all participants can see the relevant materials in real time. Thank you.
Dr. Müge, thank you very much. First of all, let me start with a heartfelt thank to Inter-Islamic Network on Oceanography-INOC for facilitating this and organizing this. It's really a great opportunity, I believe. And then the Dokuz Eylül University, of course, Faculty of Marine Science and Institute of Marine Science and Technology. All the facilitators, especially Dr. Müge, and for her complimentary, very kind introduction as well. Yeah, as she already said, I'm one of you, actually. I mean, I'm graduated from Deniz Technical University, and as she said, I seafared a bit, and we will dig deep in the pathway and what are the opportunities available. So I hope you can see my screen now in a full screen presentation mode. And you can hear me loud and clear. So as you can see in the cover page, I already compiled some of the main opportunities available for any global maritime professional. It can be engine department, the deck department, port operations, supply chain management. It can be anything. So we can just comprehensively collate them in one title called Global Maritime Professional. So I will have 10 to 12 minutes presentation and we can start it. So the outline we can skip because let's not waste time on it. So introduction, as you all know, maritime career is full of diverse opportunities, both at sea and on shore. We have to venture them personally because our professional aims and objectives are different than each other, although we are getting the standard education. Then, because of its global nature, compared to other industries, such as applied science or law, for instance, they are more in the national context. If you graduate from law faculty, you are an expert, maybe the #1 expert in the world about your country's law. But when you try to venture the global opportunities, you have to get some accreditation and equivalency, which you have been educated in the national system, which is totally different than maybe the country that you would like to continue your career. It's unlike in our sector. So we are global by nature. That already opened doors for international positions. The third, and I think far most important one, is demand for skills in maritime transportation never ends. Safety, environmental protection, security, or improvement of the efficiency of the operations. So, and Industry 4.0, the industrial revolutions, all of them are hitting maritime industry for sure. So continuous progress and continuous demand for skills is always exist. These parts, actually, the parts that you all know, but I'm just giving you a refresher here to bring you into topic that I would like to stress. So when we have a look, most of you chose this career in terms of your undergraduate studies and maybe graduate and postgraduate studies because of some opportunities that you somehow learned. But all opportunities comes with some certain challenges. They are usually like that. If there are no challenges, there are no opportunities, there are no payment. So if you are an employee in anywhere, if you are a professional in any domain, you have opportunities coming with some certain challenges. And you are in the middle. Somehow, you are expected to process these opportunities and challenges and decide, then act. So this is actually the main mechanism of the career planning and management. So if we have a look, there are 3 cycles in the education in all around the world. It's usually like that. So undergraduate level education, which is vocational schools, pre-faculty level, 2-year, 3-year, diploma educations, etc. Before that first cycle, there is the, let's say, 4 school, primary school and secondary school, which you already passed those paths. Therefore, I didn't include it. So looking forward, first cycle, second cycle, and third cycle. And each and every one of those cycles, including the cycle 0 that I didn't put, starting from primary and secondary school, actually, there are opportunities for all of you to go to start your professional travels and professional learnings. So why I said professional travels is any trip that you go to chase your education, training, practice, or research, you name it, abroad for a specific purpose, on a scholarship or on your own funds. They are all actually your professional travels. So I compiled the main and well-known scholarship opportunities here, just to, because after the meeting I will share the slide and you all can have access. Whenever you click any of those, you will find our buttons, our links to bring you to that page. So you can venture one by one, because based on your specific needs, based on which career cycle or which education cycle you are, you have different opportunities available for you. But it's never sort of opportunities. In any cycle, including the 0 cycle, there is no time or no situation that you don't have any opportunities, scholarships to go abroad. So we have to, as individuals, we have to navigate this equation. And my sincere advice to all of you, starting from that slide, is always remember Colreg Rule 5 and Rule 6 when you are managing your career and taking professional decisions. As you all know, Rule 5 says that maintain an efficient lookout. Be aware of what opportunities are available. So today I will share this slide and you will have these opportunities. You can see it on your right-hand side. But these opportunities are not static. They are dynamic. You have to always have a close lookout. What is available for me? What I would like to do? On whose budget? And with which objectives? With which milestones? Then the Rule 6, which is the safe speed. You never take any professional decisions in rush. So my career path, so we can already, Dr. Müge mentioned it, but I just would like to stress some important points that helped me during this career path. So I put it in 7 stages, but those stages are actually sometimes overlapping, as you probably correlate or relate to your career as well. So education and C experience, starting from the undergraduate level education. So structured education, standard education, then C experience. Because if you would like to be a researcher, or if you would like to be a global maritime professional in general, you have to know what's going on the ground. There are some careers that is solely focused on the theoretical and applied science. However, then this creates a disintegration between your understanding of problems and solutions on the ground. So in my career, I followed my education, then go to C experience, then advanced academic and vocational training. This shouldn't be the pathway for each and every one of you. This is just one way out of maybe 1,000 ways to do things. But I chase it up with advanced academic and vocational training. What does it mean? I didn't stop in the first cycle. Second cycle, third cycle. Each of these academic cycles or training cycles, you can just be a student dealing with your whichever subjects and dissertations, research you are dealing with, and you can leave it like that. It can be also a pathway. But in the stage 3, I try to venture the teaching roles. Because in academia, usually we have 3 pillars guide you to succeed. The first is, yes, the research. The second one is teaching. And the third one is fundraising, making some projects. So if one of those pillars are lagging behind, then opportunities available as also, they are also shrinking. So therefore, in stage 3, I was aiming those. You can see it in my CV, in each stage, what has been done. Then international research opportunities, because we are, as I told you, we are, as you all know, we are international and global. By nature, our major is like that. Therefore, I go to use each and every one of those scholarship opportunities. I tried minimum 5 of them. And then I get some of them to go to seek international research opportunities. Then project management, working as a team in projects in terms of academia. So when you are a master on board, it's the same, not academic, but leadership. So leadership mission, can you manage people? There are some people that they can work 7/24 to deliver a work which can be delivered by 3 people. However, this is not as efficient as one person managing 2 people, and there are 3 people delivering the same amount of work. Because leadership is very important. Team management. Teamwork can do excellent work. It's the synergy, basically. And I try to expand my research portfolio through these. Then, industrial impact. It's already obsolete in 20 years ago, 2 decades ago, that scientists are working in their silos without addressing the problems, suggesting some solutions which can not be applied because of the resources, management, policies, etc. So therefore, I try to interact with IGOs and NGOs, non-governmental organizations and intergovernmental organizations, to fundraise, to use the research output and implement it, if possible. And I see the challenges of implementation there. So if we can conclude, I call it as concluding remarks to put it in a politically correct way. But if you would like, take them as an advice from a person like you. So these are the sincere advices from me to you, from my heart. So take them as this. But concluding remarks. So be self-aware all the time. After the age of 15, 16, no one can exactly know what you are capable at and what you are not capable at. So always start with this. This is the first step. Otherwise, always you will bump your head in some walls. And we don't want that. The other one is aim and objectives always set and up to date. I told you, always have an efficient lookout. So be aware of what is going on in the industry. Read the news, the magazines, the IMO documents. It's publicly available. Those ones are fully publicly available. Read regional resolutions, EU resolutions, regulations, white papers. to set your aim and objectives and to keep them up to date. Then the third one is the motivation and persistence. The one usually who succeed is the one who can keep their persistence. Try to increase your stamina, because there is always some hurdles on the road. It's never as smooth. I think it's 7 projects that I worked on till now, and we always have Gantt charts, comprehensive plans, and risk management actions to keep the project's tasks, objectives, work packages delivered efficiently without issues. However, it's never go that smooth in my 7 projects. So you should find a way after your self-awareness, what motivates you. Write them on the paper. Look at them every day. Continuous effort to achieve domain-relevant skill set. As I told you, maritime is extremely dynamic. It requires some interpersonal skills to be achieved, to be emanated in personalities or alternative fields, for instance, from those days, Internet of Things, big data, data analytics, AI. So try to develop domain-relevant skills. Don't stuck in the standard and don't bound yourself with the standard education. It comes as a standard package to give you a leverage to chase it further, because the industry is very dynamic actually. Then the good intention and hard work. Ownership of your own actions and decisions. We usually do this sometimes, but I told you, after 16 years of age, no one can tell you what to do, because you will do it at the end and you will bear the consequences. So always take your actions and decisions ownership. It's you have the key to change these. Then the readiness for frustrations. As I told you, if any frustration is deeply affecting your motivation and persistence, this is not good. You have to somehow learn to be ready for frustrations all the time in professional life. And finally, your approach to problems. Identifying a problem is one thing that can be done by global maritime professionals, but we don't want you to stop there. I don't want you to only tell me what is the problem. Always have a point of view that what can you do to solve this? So thank you very much. So we can proceed with the questions.
Thank you, Dr. Serdar Yıldız. Your career is highly accomplished and you have shared invaluable insights. Your connection to COREC, International Regulation for Preventing Collision at Sea, is excellent. It provides valuable context and practical relevance to the discussion. So I want to ask some questions about you. First of all, can you share your journey from being a seafarer to becoming assistant professor at the Sharjah Maritime Academy? What were the key decisions that shaped your career?
Sure. Thank you very much for the question. So, as I told, when I was studying in Deniz Technical University in bachelor's level, because my mom and dad, my family, they really value education. This was one of my luck, I have to say. So they were always advising me. My mom also did her master's and have to stop her PhD because I was boarding at that time. So therefore, I always had the passion or a kind of interest in academia. But as I told, when I was studying in Karadeniz Technical University, I learned that the ground experience, on-the-ground experience, on-board experience is one of the musts in our domain. Therefore, maritime domain, because it's totally different. It's sea-based life, sea-based operations, and we are used to land-based ones. Therefore, in order to keep the alignment, I was studying, but before I go to sea, in the third year in the university, I attend the language exam and also the higher education entrance exam, ALES and the ALES and the YDS actually
Yeah,
in
I know.
Turkish. Just I would like to give it in context for the students. So I attend them and I get my marks in the third year when I was studying. It gives you a couple of years that you can apply without entering any other exams, as you all know. So then I enrolled the masters before I go on board in the Karadeniz Technical University. Then I go on board and work 2 years. Then second year, when I was working on board, I received a call that there may be a position opening as a research assistant, which will pay me to chase my masters, right? That I enrolled. And I was failing in the courses because I was on board 7 months, 6 months, and I couldn't come to Karadeniz Technical University to chase my studies. So I valued that opportunity, and I just stopped sailing at that time, stopped prioritizing it, and I came back to academy as a research assistant. Then I finished my PhD master's in 3 years. But in these 3 years, as I told, this was what opened my mind actually. I used all the Erasmus opportunities to go abroad in each site. And in total, I worked in Karadeniz Technical University for 7 years. And 1.5 years, actually, I was abroad studying. 1.5 years. So 9 months, 6 months, 3 months, and in total, it's 1.5 years. So 1/7 of my studies, second and third cycle studies, I spent abroad. I think this was my pivot point that opened my mind.
Thank you. And you can share the Erasmus program. And one question about the Erasmus program, because the Erasmus program offers an incredible opportunity for students to study and also intern abroad. It not only helps students broaden their global perspective, but also improves language skill, increase cultural differences understanding, and creates networking also. What are the benefits of pursuing Erasmus program or other international exchange programs for maritime students? How can such programs contribute to their career pathway?
Yes, actually, as you know, maritime industry is all about networking, because it's a massive industry and losses are high. Therefore, I want somebody that I know, I can trust. Therefore, networks are working in that way. So Erasmus actually, other than going to another university, which has a different structure of teaching, assessments, this already broadens up our students' understanding of education and training, and be more resilient about learning from different cultures. I'm not talking about the social culture here, professional culture, education and training and assessment. This is one side. But on the other side, it gives you a resilience also in terms of your adaptability is increasing, because you have to deal with your daily life in a totally different country with totally different language. They don't laugh at what you are laughing here. They actually feel insulted sometimes. Or they cry what you are laughing at here. So this diplomacy, or this kind of interpersonal skills, we can name it like that, I think this is the number one benefit of exchange programs. And this really gives our students a great leverage because it's all about adaptation. Darwin already said that the one who can survive is who can adapt. So I think this is the most important, let's say, outcome, one of the most important outcomes of the exchange programs to go abroad to survive there.
Thank you again. But I want to ask about your PhD thesis. Very valuable things about the thesis contains. Approximately all the participants know that Turkey is surrounded by seas on three sides. Its significant geopolitical and strategic importance, bordered by Black Sea, Aegean Sea, and also Mediterranean Sea. Turkey is also home to some of the world's most critical narrow straits, namely Istanbul and Çanakkale. These narrow waterways play a vital role in international maritime transportation. During your PhD, you work on optimizing maritime safety risk in narrow waterways. How did your research impact real-world application? And also, what challenge did you face while preparing a PhD thesis?
Yes, thank you very much for the question. Really, very important one. PhD really, I mean, is a tough journey. We all take, Dr. Miguel also, and maybe some of you will take. It's a tough journey and it's a specific one, but it's really fun and it's really eye-opening journey, and you really can excel your career through a PhD. It's 6 years, so it's a long time actually to spend if you are not like very keen to stick with the academia. Then you should really think carefully. So in my context, since my master's, I was working on maritime safety related matters. My master's dissertation was also cruise vessel safety. Actually, in my master's dissertation, I was applying one model, one human organizational factor analysis and classification model, which is developed in aviation industry. And then I adopted with my supervisor, Professor Oşinografi, who is the dean of or the University Faculty of Marine Sciences now. We adopt this taxonomy together to maritime context. And then in my PhD, actually, I was trying to develop a decision support system, decision support model for vessel traffic operators and masters on board. So how I did it is I create a kind of network model. When you give the network parameters such as ship type, ship age, length, width, traffic conditions, even if you have wearables, smart wearables that you can assess the level of stress, fatigue, you can feed them all into the network, and the network gives you, depending on those variables, whatever you feed. There are default variables as well based on my dataset. If you don't feed all parameters, it will still work, but 64 parameters and 3 conditions under each parameter. So 64 multiplied by 3, but since it's a network, it's like a kind of decision-making tool. So it basically gives you the probability of grounding, collision, contact, and sinking along the strait, along the Istanbul Strait. I did one in Istanbul, Dover Strait, English Channel's Dover Strait Park, and Singapore Strait. So 3 different decision-making models, because straits have different nature and different type of ships, etc. And let's come to what is the real on the ground outcome of this. So okay, I made it, but what's happening? I'm not sure. Maybe you are already aware, Doctor, that Turkey is Aselsan actually developing our own national vessel traffic management system, like electronic charts and all these. So when we had a couple of meetings together to how we can use this. So this is how we implement the research output. Because if I find anything, as long as Dr. Miga never applies it, it's already on the shelf and getting obsolete. So this is the practical approach that we take, and we are chasing this up at the moment. Soon in the VTS centers, there will be our national system to use. Of course, this is one little, very little component in it, but still a bit.
Thank you again. Last question about your technical skills. You are mentioned the importance of the teamwork, social time, and leadership. Beyond technical skills, how important do you think networking and socializing are in advancing a maritime career? What strategies would you recommend for students to expand their professional skills to network?
Yes, very, very good question, actually. So, actually, Dokuz Eylül University, like other universities in Turkey, we really value internationalization. So, if your students come to you and saying that, okay, I would like to present my final year project or dissertation in a conference, this is an excellent opportunity for a bachelor's level student to start international networking. But before that one, actually, even sometimes you can see that in our class, in our batch, so they come as a batch to the maritime transport department. How they are connected with their alumni? Because their alumni are already in Ministry of, let's say, Energy and Infrastructure, or Ministry of Communication and Infrastructure, or Maritime Administration, port authorities, cargo owners, ship brokers. This is our alumni. They should always use the closest resource first. So they should have become a member of the alumni associations. They should take some social responsibilities to network, because the more community, the alumni community sees the value addition in the newer generations, and vice versa, newer generations are contributing to the alumni, then already networking started. So I advise them sincerely to don't lose any human connections.
Thank you. Our participants now have the opportunity to ask questions. Please feel free to ask any question you may have. In addition to raising your hands button to ask question, or you are welcome to share your thoughts and question in the chat forum. Please. I'm looking at the chats. Are there any questions?
They can always write me an email to Dr. Miguel, no problem.
There's no question. Dear participants, are there any questions? Yeah. Dear Abdullah, as a Turkish citizen, have you ever felt at disadvantage during international application process, you know, the visa problem? Or have you noticed that this experience varies depending on the region? For instance, do you believe it could potentially provide an advantage in regions such as the Middle East?
Yes, very nice.
Important question.
Very good question. Dear Abdullah, thank you very much for the question and the interest. I must say that, yes, I heard there are issues. However, personally, I didn't face visa-related issues. However, I shouldn't say it as a disadvantage, but two of my fund applications have been rejected because the other applicant was from least developed or small island developing states. 2 times I lost like that because Turkey considered as developing
countries.
So means like there can be, but really my sincere advice is, again, don't classify it as a disadvantage in your mind, because if you classify like that, you will be demotivated. Apply it twice, and if you get rejected, move on with the plan B. But really, personally, other than these 2 experiences, neither in Middle East nor in Europe, I haven't been in US, UK, not in UK. I never experienced. I have been all these countries, but never experienced. However, I heard people are experiencing. Please don't classify it as disadvantage. Please, because it will demotivate you. You will not apply even. You will say, I will be already eliminated. They will not, because I'm from that nation, this nation. There are some nations, I will not name them, they are even more disadvantaged. Even more. Nobody is giving any visa to them because of their political inconsistencies in their country. But I have friends from that nation, they are working with me now. So somehow, somewhat, somebody catches it. So please be persistent. Please be persistent. And do you believe it could potentially provide an advantage in regions such as Middle East? Yes, there is nothing wrong to call things as advantage. Yes, it's an advantage. Let's say most of the countries, such as GCC region countries, Gulf countries, you will have a bit of an advantage. You can name it as an advantage, but don't name the other one as disadvantage. We don't want to demotivate you for anything here. The other question, dear Hussein.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Do you think for any short courses certification programs for offshore oil and gas industry, such as hydrography, remotely operated vehicle pilot, and etc.?
Very good question. Very good. As I told you, each country's national maritime industry is different. And this is my first time that I'm working in a country that has more than 700 offshore vessels. Not of course, not all of them are rigs, but supply vessels, etc. So if you would like to work in cabotage, it's offshore industry already for you. There are advantages. There are some issues to consider in it, because oil and gas industry actually it's not as international as international shipping industry, because you don't actually extract the oil and carry it to another country. You extract it and you just deliver it to your own country. So usually it's very national context. So if the question is for me, actually from my side, I don't consider, because I already stopped sailing and prioritizing it. But if Ali is asking about him, yes, he should consider, because Turkey, probably Ali already follows it up since this question popped up. Turkey is already investing on it and collaborating, and it will be expanding. So sure. And there are countries and institutes that they give trainings. Of course, it's paid training, but you can seek the scholarship opportunities. Basically, you will write the companies in your country saying that I would like to work for you, and I will commit 5 years, 6 years, whatever years. Can you fund my training? Can you fund my training in that institution? It's that much. They can. So Ali, please chase it up if you are interested in.
Thank you. Are there any questions?
Welcome.
So I move to close remarks on these sessions. We will present a certificate of appreciation to Dr. Serdar Yıldız. This certificate has been prepared by INOC, and we will now share it on the screen for everyone to see. Thank you. Signed by Professor Dr. Şermin Açıkçınar, President of INOC, and also faculty member of Dokuz University. Professor Dr. Şermin Açıkçınar extends her sincere thanks to everyone for their participation. We would like to thank Dr. Serdar Yıldız for sharing his valuable information and contribution, for being open to academic collaboration opportunity. Your expertise and contribution have greatly enriched this session, and we are truly grateful for your time and knowledge. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Dr. Müge, Professor Şermin. Thank you so much for organizing and considering me and inviting me. Please let me know whenever I can be any use, and feel free to reach out. It was a great pleasure for me to meet the students and you in the online platform. And again, I will share my presentation so that students can have my contacts. So please feel free, and yeah, hope to see you in another event soon, not late.
Thank you again, Serdar Yıldız.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Very good day. Thank you, dear guest.
Thank you.